sat on his pole, and then he'd just get this ground bait, throw it in, and it just like land like there next to his float.
We're doing it.
Running.
Another one.
No, it's not a different day, is it? We're actually still here.
Doing podcasts for days, isn't it? It's
I'm
good job it's not the
pint.
afternoon. We'd be
You
drunk
can actually
now.
mention it now because it's after 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Pint after Richard. Pints.
Nearly.
We turn it into a drinking game.
Oh, can we?
Every podcast, yeah.
Bye-bye, Jayla.
Every time you mention Kamasan, you have to do a shot.
Oh, shit. That's what I'm going to mention in this one now. Oh, flipping it.
Oh,
Let's go get him in now. Bobby Guinness is all round. Go on, Jayla. What are we doing? What are we talking about?
Good time, this one's going to be a nice one now. Non-controversy, lovely, lovely memories of
Wow.
our best
Yeah.
and any we can think of performances in fishing.
Like, wow performance.
There's always a few that stick in your head where you felt you've done your best
Yeah.
or you've been in awe of someone,
Yeah.
isn't there? I mean, we'll start on that. That's a nice bit, talking about other people's ones, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's the nice things that, even from you when you're young or flipping last week, whenever.
There's always some things that you say you never leave, and you always sort of like think back to like, oh, and yeah, it's just so many for me personally, but
Go on.
there's one in particular that stands out over anything. I'm sure I've told it before, but you're saying you've not heard it. And that's watching or sitting behind Kevin Ashurst on Limdam.
Kev's on podcast as well for that.
Yes.
I'm down to listen to that. It might even be out by that time you see this.
The best ever in your wide world ever. You know how much I like adore Kev. He's what got me like obviously into fishing.
Was he?
Yeah, so in my dad,
He was your-
Dave Costello's like, but Kevin's like, oh my dad, I want to be him. I want to be Kevin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the first time I'd ever seen a pole. So it was with Shimano at the time. So I'd imagine it had been a Diaflash, something like that. I don't know.
Was he?
It might have been.
I bet you there's
probably
one
been
before a
Diaflashes,
Diaflash.
to be fair. And
Yeah.
it's probably like, what would I have been? I'd have been like 10 or 11. And back then, like, he's fishing with this pole. It probably wasn't even 11 metres or something like that. It might have just been 11 metres, but back then it was like, wow!
It looked massive.
Daddy May's on his like swing tip, like 2 pegs down. You know
What
what
you
I
on?
mean?
Where are they, on the bridgie?
On Limdam.
On Limdam.
Limdam. Yeah, on the side of the church, on the far side. And Kevin drew under this tree, and he's caught these bream. Just caught all these bream and that. He's absolutely annihilated the match. And that, ever since then, from that young age, I'm like, oh,
Did you sit behind him and watch him?
Oh yeah, sat behind and watched him.
They were like, later, Dad.
You're right there, lad. Yeah, no, my dad said go and sit behind Kevin. I'm sure he won't mind you watching him.
Did he?
Like,
He just sat right back and just sat and
He's
watched.
like, of course you can, lad. That, you know. And then later on that year, we did the prize presentation for Lim Juniors, and he handed me like, I can't remember what he handed me, like a cap and a little trophy for doing well in the Lim Juniors, and like his hand flipping massive.
You like just crush your hand.
Like, I grabbed his finger like that. Kevin! You know what I mean? It's one of them ones. And I just ran back. It's Kevin Ashurst. Oh, it was so good. But that, for me, will just stick with me forever.
What was impressive about? Like, what was?
Just everything is like, it sit on his pole. He had his waders on, sat on his pole, and then he'd just get this ground bait, throw it in, and it just like land like there next to his float. Just amazing. And obviously, because I've never seen up till then like a pole or anything like that, and it was just
It was a proper angler. An angler fishing for the first time, and you're just like, all right, this is how you catch fish.
yeah, proper everything. ASI box, obviously you know how much I love the ASI box. I had his ASI box, England colours, and it was just brilliant.
Right.
I'll never ever forget that ever.
It's mad. And when you're young, it's little things like that. There's just
Sticks there, and even my dad says about it now. But he caught at least 30, 40 pound more than anyone else.
did he? Just absolutely ruined
Just
things.
annihilated everyone.
He was the
So
first
what weight
angler.
was it? If he's caught £30 more than everyone else, what?
It was over 40 pounds.
Because was that just like a silly weight at that point?
Oh, 40
Yeah.
pounds. Like,
Oh,
even in
Rich,
my early
look at
day, 40 pound was biblical.
23 pound was my best match weight till I was like 17, 18. 23
That's
pound.
mad, isn't it? Like, anyone coming into fishing now would just be
Like, that's like what, 10 minutes work sometimes. Well, not even that.
Yeah,
like,
cash
what,
out.
one fish, innit?
a mug fish, that's it. It's
Scary
mad.
now, innit?
But yeah, that for me, I mean, there's loads of little babby ones and stuff like that, but that for me just,
That was your first
wow. I want to do what you're doing, Kevin. I want that box as well, Kevin.
Love you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Would that make you on an ASI, Kevin, just having one?
Yeah, when he had that ASI.
I always remember Tommy being sat on one in all his articles, and it made me want that kit.
ASI
And do you know what else I used to like idolise? I remember reading it might have been a Sid Higgins, you remember him?
Yeah.
And I remember he put a photo in, he did a write-up. I think it was, I don't know if you know Tobo now, Tony Evans.
Yeah.
There's a picture of him on the knee, and I was like, that's what an angler's like. And Tony's there with his ASI box with his octopus clothing.
Oh yeah, we used to have octopus legs, didn't we, on the country boxes and stuff like that.
And I used to look at that when I was little and think, that's how you want to be as an angler.
Older than his
And now
pole
I know
like this.
Tomo. Now I know he's just a lunatic.
Was he
Drinking
older than his pole
lunatic.
like
Who? Tom Edwards, mate.
Yeah. Tomo. Yeah.
Older than his pole like Rich.
No, he's fishing a feeder for dace. I don't know what he's
wow.
doing. But anyway, they're what led us to be into
Definitely.
it. But performance-wise, I've seen a billion over the years, haven't we?
Yeah.
And there's loads of amazing ones. But do you know when you get a wow moment again of someone doing something different?
Yeah.
Mine was Will in the Fishermania at Larford. And he was on Big Lake, on Spetty Lake. And it was when they were doing that Wagner and ground bait in the middle of the lake.
Casters and ground bait.
He just looked. I didn't want to go near him because he was that aggressive and angry. You think he'd just knock you out. not. Do you know what I mean? Not being nasty to people.
Yeah.
Just, it was amazing.
He's so
Do you know what I mean? 'Cause he's pulling ground bait back here and fish.
Everyone was like that on his flow.
Well, it's like snooker table out in the middle of the lake now and splatting all this ground bait going everywhere. And he's fishing them Daiwa scuds.
Was it the scuds, wasn't it? I was going to say scuds.
Yeah, that's split in half. He's a great big one. It's just
Was it the Geminis? It was Geminis, weren't they?
Geminis,
Yeah.
that was it. Not scuds. Scuds were Drennan.
Yeah.
Gemini.
I remember because all this commotion on the bank, or like what Will's doing. I was on the arena that day.
Were you?
And I could hear all this commotion. It's like turned up, and I could see Will like that.
It was just
And
an animal, like beyond belief, an animal. And you just wow, and you just think, I can't do that. I actually turned up to do that.
Did you?
Because I was there, I drew on the Big Lake as well. I drew opposite Will, but further up.
So was that a method on there then, was it? And obviously you
Yeah, I didn't have a clue though. Do you know what I caught on it? A roach.
Did you?
Yeah. And I had no trolley. On the same day. And I remember carrying 6 bags of ground bait and all my kit round to the far side of Spetty Lake. It took me 4 goes, nearly died.
Flipping out, J-Lad.
And I got there and I mixed all this ground bait up. Unfortunately, I caught a roach. But anyway, but Will did it, and that was me. Wow! I think he
That
wouldn't
would
have
have
actually
been-
qualified.
Was that when he comes second in the final for that one?
It must have been. He's only been in twice anyway. So that
So
must have
it was
been
the year before Neil won it then, wasn't it?
year after Neil won it.
Year after Neil won it, yeah.
What was that for? Match this or?
No, official.
Fishermania.
He fished feeder, didn't he? Deep, come second.
Yes. Yes, when Clive Wright won off 16. When
That's
16
it.
was
16
just
used to
winning.
dominate, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Will was probably the wowest I've ever been watching someone. But you are with Will. Will would be like that if he was on the flipping canal. You'd just be like, oh.
Well, we've had it, haven't we, when we went out and filmed with him.
Is he?
It's quiet as I've ever been. Other than Bob, it's quiet as I've ever been. It's just
Until
like,
you cast
wow.
his thing into the tree.
Still
Yeah,
don't
the
know.
tree's like over there. It's like by the bar.
You're just that much of a
Like,
meltdown. You're just like,
I can't.
don't know what to do with it.
Crumbled, mate.
Just forgotten how to cast.
Just like, I can't do it. No, Will, I just want to watch it.
The only thing that could have gone worse is if you like snapped the tip off the rod in the process.
Yeah, I probably did that.
Was it?
It was just too nice to tell you.
Sorry, Will. Yeah, no, so there's loads of little babby ones, isn't there? But them are the ones that just stand out and
Just
they're
the
there.
special one. It's the one. I mean, it's ones that people you don't see as much as well. Like so we get to see like a bagger all the time.
Yeah. We just
And
take it for granted, don't we?
It becomes the flipping norm.
Whereas like, if you didn't see Bagger, then you turn up to watch him, you're like, oh my days. But we get that on a
I suppose that
weekly
is,
basis.
it's doing it at that point where you realise there's another level to fishing. Because if you're around people, like if you're just fishing club matches or open matches, whatever,
Yeah.
you can get in your head, you've won a few and think, I'm all right.
Yeah. The assumption is that's the best that can be done.
And then you see something like that and you're like,
Well, it's like him,
Oh,
isn't it?
right.
People not seeing him and seeing him on a qualifier and doing what he does. Like,
Well, it's power next to me.
you're mugging and all that. Bloody hell.
Well, that's a little thing in it. Power next to me
Anything
was
though.
my biggest wow. But we spoke about this loads
Oh, and the Waggler.
of when he drew next to me in fish
18.
show, whatever.
Yeah. 2018, because I was doing the thingy.
Remember that?
Yeah. It
And
was
made
the
me
big
look
black one.
beyond mediocre, and it makes you.
But then the
step up a
next
level,
year, you're
doesn't it?
like, wow.
Well, you
yeah.
get on it then, don't you? So, but that's different. But yeah, it is. But anyway, performances. Your favouritists.
So, my favourite is,
different.
I know, so it's been shot so around for this, I'm going to go back to my Kamasan days. But it's again,
Not
I think-
from me. I still embrace the Kamasan.
I know,
It's just him.
It was
He's
the
the best.
one. It's the one that like certainly got me to where I am today, and I'll always bang on about it because I used to love the event. But for me, it was the first year I won it. So what we're saying now, it had been
18.
2000,
No.
99 to 2000 season. It was the last day of the
And-
season on the river.
quarter of a century ago.
Yeah. Shut up, Rich. It was the last day of the season on the river, and I was I was leading by 1
Last
point.
day Weaver.
On the Weaver, yeah, last Winter League round, because obviously it was close season, obviously the Kamasan finished.
I finished on
So I was winning by
16th, didn't it, or 15th?
1 point over Steve Hemingray.
Oh, yeah.
Steve
How many
Hemingray,
points you have? Was that a big year or a little year?
that was 47 points, so I've had
That was a
43.
decent year then.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 43 points.
Yeah.
Steve was on 42 going to the last weekend. And Ian Chapman was due to come down and film it.
Was it the last day? Was it the Sunday? The last day?
The last day.
Was it?
So he was there anyway, but if I didn't draw right, he wasn't going to film it. He was going to go elsewhere.
He was going to go to Steve, wherever Steve was.
Yeah, Steve would have been on one of the Midlands canals. Or it might have been Soar or something like that. Somewhere like somewhere.
That's how it was, wasn't it? The
And
journalist
I
for
don't-
Kamasan would always go, whoever would do best.
Wherever. So obviously he got to me early in the morning, and I don't, you know the pegs on the Weaver, Jay. So you got the main bridge, peg 200 and 199 either side of the bridge.
And
Not
the blue
Red
bridge?
Line bridge. Yeah, the blue. You know the Marina car park where you draw.
Yeah.
Well, peg 200 is this side of it, and then 199 is the other side. Them
Right, I'm
two
with you.
pegs. That
They're the game over pegs.
yeah, but 199 in particular.
Yeah.
199. Do the best peg in like the whole of like the northwest on the river ever. Like right, set one rod up, just set a long rod, 20-foot rod with stick float on.
Where you are then is the...
So the road where you park in the car park, and then you've got the Weaver coming down here, and the bridge goes over. There's two bridges, isn't there? One on the Red Lion where the boards are, which is further down where the pub is, the Red Lion pub.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got the one this side, the Marina Bridge, where you know on the roundabout at Winsford.
Actually, in the town.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Winsford.
I'm actually right.
You
I know
where
you are.
where you go and feed the swans and all that in the car park.
Yes. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so where that bridge goes over, it's 200 this side, 199 the other side. 199 is like it was the best peg ever. Before all the pike had moved in and everything. So I've set one rod up. Says, Ian, you're filming this, I'm going to win this today.
You tell him.
Yeah.
Winning.
Definitely 100% I'm winning here. Can't not. It won like, there'd been 6 rounds, it won like 4 of the 6 rounds.
As it was the peg.
Special peg. Perfect river and all that. And I've caught 24 pound of roach. I remember the weight, it was in Anglesmere and all that. 24 pound of roach, won the match. Got another 4 points. That took me to 47. And that's when I thought, oh, yeah, this is amazing.
Did Steve get any points that weekend?
I'm sure he ended up. Yeah, I'm sure he got a couple of points. So if I hadn't
Did
won,
he?
he would have beat me.
Yeah.
Sure he did. Yeah.
Well, it was a
And
close one.
that was it. Then.
Did your match go dead nice? Never
Perfect.
flap in, just caught.
Didn't tangle once. I don't remember losing any. Just everything was perfect. Swinging in ropes like that. Yeah, just getting so confident, you know, as you do.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. Fed loads of bait, windmill, loads of casters in. Oh, it's just one of them perfect matches. It all goes to plan. And I'm like, yeah, this is amazing. This. I think I might have set a little babby slide up. That's where we used to fish dren and onions.
Same ones you got now.
And you had like a slack over.
With a straight at that point.
They were nearly straight there. They were a bit bendy now to like get around the bridges. Yeah, chucking it in this slack, but they're only little tiny ropes. But when I went on that long rod, it was flipping amazing. And then from that time, then that's when everything just started to take off massively. Once you have like a title like that in the bag.
That was your first Kamasan?
The first year.
That was the first year you never won it as well.
So you were more, when you drew it, it was a confident rather than
Oh,
like
flipping
nervous, pressurey.
Yeah, just no nerves whatsoever. Even though everyone's saying, "Oh, how can you not win there? You're not going to win." No, like it was the best peg. Couldn't have happened any better for me.
Were it proper
It
one?
was just phenomenal. Yeah, and our team won. I think we had like 4 section winners on the day. Just ridiculous.
Just took it out.
Oh, it was so good, so good. And then, yeah, from there, just you know, like the Woodlands View, the first time I ever qualified for fish show, 2008. You know, worms and casters wasn't working at Woodlands View, but I just thought, you know, I want to do something different. Worms and casters, and I've told this story loads. I know I've caught loads of perch and skimmers, and had like 4 or 5 carp. And then it was when red meat was working.
It was, yeah.
I remember Sam and Christian was behind me, so he said, "Oh, you're definitely going to win." But there's a lad on Back Deans who'd caught a few as well on this red meat, but I just beat him by a few pounds.
It was dead windy that day as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really windy.
You were sort of like over there, weren't you, somewhere?
I remember being there, I can't remember where I was.
Yeah, so it's little things like that stand out, but a long time ago for me.
It's weird how it's always the big matches where you've won a big match that's your standout performances, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's it.
Surely that's, to get things right there is, you've got the added pressure and
It's
everything
the
else
added-
around it.
Yeah, and it's the added prize at the end that makes it so special for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you mean we're sat here now, aren't we, trying to think? And I'm going to say there's thousands of better occasions when we've done things better
Yeah.
on a flipping open match on a Saturday.
but it's when it all.
But it doesn't matter then, does it?
It'd be like throwing a 180 at home versus throwing it
Yeah.
at the pub in front of your mates or something like that.
It is the same sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
But no, there's so many different occasions. I'm going to go the same as you.
Go ahead.
As one of my special ones that like early on was winning Kamasan, my last day. But mine was, my performance wasn't winning Kamasan. I'd already won it. So it was on the Winter League semi. The Winter League used to have a semi-final. Excuse me. And it'd be all the Northwest teams went to a commercial. When you'd have your Winter Leagues.
Yeah.
Then you'd fish a commercial, all the teams, and the top two would go to the final.
Right, okay, yeah.
That's how it used to be. And the final would be on the knee.
Yeah.
So it'd be a commercial semi, and then a knee final. That's how it used to be. It didn't used to be how it was now.
Yeah.
And I was fishing for Maven Midlands, and we were at Herronbrook on the semi-final. On the semi-final.
Yeah.
So I was winning. I don't know if I'd won. I must have. Ian Chapman again.
Yeah.
Was there in the morning
Covers everything.
to present me with. In fact, I'd won it.
Trophy.
It might have even been after the season then. It might have been the day after the season.
How iconic was a trophy.
Oh, my. That's
It's
the
a
best trophy in fishing.
We need to get that back.
I'm sure Connie's got it. I'm sure Steve Connie's
I'd love
got
to
it.
like bring
Just
that
have a
back,
look.
yeah.
We'll
It'd be nice to do a podcast on that and just go through the names.
Yeah, let's borrow it, Steve. You can have it back. That's the
Who
one,
do-
isn't it? I'm sure Steve Connie's got it.
I'll get in
That's
touch
bagger.
with Stu. I'll get in touch with Stuart.
Yeah, Stu's got it. But anyway, yeah, he presented me with that in the morning. He'd give me a bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
That this was in my lively days, so I'd necked it. Yeah, there and then. Well, he made me open it and spray it and all that. So I thought, well, that's going. So I've gone to my peg, and Wayne Mellins was running Maven Midlands team then.
Yeah.
He drawn me my peg. I was on the bend on Meadow, or just off the bend.
On the stick-ups?
No, on Meadow. First
Oh,
on the
Meadow,
left.
right, okay.
But
Up
the
the top
numbers
end.
then, the best pegs used to be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That was the winter stack.
Yeah.
And he drew me 13. So I'm like, you're having a laugh, aren't you? But I'm a bit wobbly at this point. I've just, you know what I mean? Necked a bottle of champagne. I'm like, right, we're cracking on with it then. And I draw next to Polly. First time I ever...
Really?
Polly was my hero in my youth as well.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be a speedy squat angler.
Yeah, man.
But I've drawn next to Polly. And I'm like, do you know what I mean? I'm loving having Polly there next to me. But...
And obviously he would have known that about the Kamasan because he's like massive, wasn't he? Wasn't he back in the day?
I think it was probably just after he'd... Yeah. But he didn't know, yeah. Do you know what I mean? But he's there to fish for the team. But he's on me right, on the edge of the fish. And I always remember stitching him. Because it was mad. You could fish your
don't do
peg.
things like
If you fed bait, it was like a wall. And they
right.
wouldn't go past it.
Right.
So I was on my peg. And I remember feeding to me right, because all the fish are to me, in front of me and to me left. And it literally stopped. I think Polly blanked or caught one all day. Because it created like a wall and you wouldn't get a bite as soon as you fed, because they just swam up and down the far bank. But it's when dobbing bread was in its infancy and I had like all to myself.
No one else had swinged him.
I remember I lost my first 3 fish because I was bladdered. And I wanted someone to sort of...
You'd have been angry, Jamie, as well then, wouldn't you? Oh, you'd had that much
Yeah,
champagne.
good chance I'll have been angry, Jamie, then. Yeah.
Polly's just dodging top kits flying past
Wilson
you.
Lewis back in the day, isn't he?
I was skinny, angry Jamie then, yeah. So not good. But yeah, I remember dobbing a load. I remember winning the semi-final. Like individually, I won the
amazing.
semi-final with like £78
Wow.
of dob carp. But all at the same time, do you know what I mean? I've just had my trophy. I've got it on my flipping side tray all day next to me behind me, this big massive
Full of
trophy.
champagne.
And then you're winning the Winter League semi-final as well.
So
It's just
good.
like, it's mad how things happen though, don't they? When they happen together, you get runs of amazingness happening.
Yeah.
It's not evenly distributed through your
No,
career, is it?
Definitely not. No.
It's all little periods when
Yeah.
it just, everything goes your way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that was definitely one for me.
But is that not just a like positive mental
yeah,
attitude and all
massive,
that?
innit?
As soon as you win one, then it all kicks everything else off, and you go through a spell of you believing in yourself, you're making the right decisions.
Yeah, I think luck comes with it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as if it all tallies up together, doesn't it? And you just can't go wrong. And definitely back in my early career, flipping it, the way I used to draw, something was going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was frightening, like scary rich.
Even better than you are now.
I'm glad I think it's having kids, they like suck all your luck away. Do you know what I mean?
You've had one bad peg.
That was it. That wouldn't have happened in one for so.
It's all your fault.
He won everything.
But no, because you see the young ones doing it now.
Yeah.
The young ones now, you just
Once you get going on a certain sort of like path, it just keeps going. Like things go your way all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Confidence and what have you. Yeah, it's mad.
It's mad, isn't it? But what think of any other little specials. I've had lots of special ones.
Yeah.
Like Pete and me golden reel, winning the golden reel in
Yeah,
2018.
yeah.
That's one of the best matches I've ever fished.
Yeah.
This year's May, we weren't far behind.
Yeah.
A few qualifiers as well that you think, I shouldn't have won off that. Remember Woodlands Thirsk? That one of my best ever qualifying, in that I drew Partridge, Skylark. Skylark's the back one in it. I always get it mixed up. I drew Skylark, peg 6, every peg in. And everyone else fed and I never. I just plopped.
Slapped an 8mm, didn't you? So,
Yeah.
Or plopped an 8mm. Yeah.
Yeah, never fed. I was the only one that didn't feed. I had like £140. That's it again when everything was in its infancy and we were learning. They're like standouty ones that you like. But
That is almost, you need to be in that early stage, don't you, to
it's when
stand
it was more
out.
likely to happen.
Yeah. Same like tapping micros and stuff for skimmers.
Yeah.
That you could stand out then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I was next to you.
Yeah, Midlands.
Richard's
And,
favourite this performance?
And Warren. It was Warren,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
When I drew the knob.
On the knob.
Yeah.
Knob on the knob.
And you got
Talk us about it. What happened, Richard? Other than giving me neck ache.
tap pellets and...
Mate, it
I
was
think
impressive watching
that
it,
was
to be fair.
when it's all I've been doing, or we'd all been doing it all
You were
winter.
right. Is that Daddy Chappers was behind you, wasn't
No?
he? He was. He sat behind you.
Was he?
Yeah.
He wasn't back. I didn't have a bank runner.
You know, he sat behind you though, watching you.
Yeah, he was behind me
Was
for
he?
a bit on the bench.
Yeah.
Was he just being like head photographer or something?
Yeah. No, the head photographer was stood on the peg next to Andy.
in Andy's head. but that was just one of those where I think exactly what you were saying is you've been doing a method for a while, you're confident
you
in
just
it.
on it. You knew you'd be like 2 or 3 fish long, come short, clatter a big one, try for another one, straight back out.
Yeah,
You were
that
just on it.
felt like you got your that's
Yeah.
the only time in a final that
Great. Good to watch, mate. Really
You
good.
felt you were doing it right.
yeah, I look back now and I don't think I could have caught any more. And that's I think it was you, Matt and Bagger that beat us on the day. I'm like,
I didn't contribute anything that year, sorry.
you made up the next
You
year.
made up for it last year.
You're redeeming yourself, you're good.
But that was one of the few times I've been like, yeah, I couldn't fish that anyway.
Last year you were far behind, even though, to be fair.
No, I was Waco's caught, like,
When you're on them, you go, don't you?
If Waco wasn't there, you'd have felt better about yourself, though.
Don't
Yeah.
he gets job done when he's on them? Like, don't mess about.
I can,
Ship,
what, when my peg's black, I can catch a few. Yeah.
Oh, no, do you know what your best one was? And we've not... it was again, same venue. When you had Dan Webb and Rob Hutton next to you.
Bastard.
Either side at Meadowlands.
That was just weird.
Well, it was still good. Just go with it.
Oh,
just
yeah,
go with it. Accept the acknowledgements. Just, yes, I was awesome.
I still don't know what's happened that day because
What was that in? Was that an on-the-fly qualifier?
I think it was angling.
Hang on, trust.
Was it? It was one of them.
Cartman. Respect my authority. That was Richard. That was the right moment.
But yeah, like I felt I've been doing the same. Like, I've talked to him afterwards, and I don't know. It's just like there was a wall either side of my peg.
What were you on? Talks about it. You were on
the deeps.
17, 18.
a team, wasn't it?
Yeah, like every peg in along
Yeah.
there. And I've caught a few on pellets long because that was when Bagger had just started like feeding fours, fishing expanders, all that. Caught a few on that, but then I've come short, and it's just been solid. But then either side they've caught just caught carp constantly.
Yeah.
So I don't know if them feeding first or something has kept the carp away. But like I've just gone in and clunked a big black 3-pound bream every single time.
In a silvers match. This is in a silvers match as well.
And they've just caught carp after carp. Like, that was one of them embarrassing ones where you're just like, yeah, sorry.
Feel like guilty.
I think at one point I offered Rob if he wanted to go my peg, he could.
That's when you say something like that to someone, it's like, oh, yeah.
But it's like,
tell them off,
you're
innit?
not doing, I was fed some ground bait and chucked some casters, you're not doing anything different enough that is anything you're doing
be,
different.
must be
It's
You've
just,
still got to have been on it. You're not
Gotta be
doing that if
right,
you're not on it
presenting
with
right,
right
feeding it
method.
right. You'd have been doing something different. Otherwise, you'd have been catching carp.
I was catching
We're not
bream,
just going to
they were
leave you
catching
alone.
That is that's a standout
That was brilliant, mate.
performance, isn't it? When things
Yeah.
like that happen.
But I don't feel like got anything right, whereas the one next to you,
Yeah.
I felt like I
Oh,
got
yeah. Timings
timings
were
and
right.
methods.
You were in control.
Yeah,
of
I
it.
felt that was me doing something good.
That was amazing.
That just felt like right peg doing the right thing at the right time. It wasn't. I didn't think, oh my god, I've been amazing today. It's just clunk.
You're still doing the right thing.
Go on, CEO.
Yeah,
He's on it.
it's going to happen again this weekend, Rich.
Yes.
Well, it's not, but we'll
not.
pretend.
if I can not blank, that would be like
Yeah. No one's catching any skimmers there at the minute, are they? But they've got to be there waiting for you.
Yeah.
That's what it is. This storm's going to wake them up.
I like that. Standout moments. Yeah, love that.
It's nice, isn't it? They're what matter in fishing. They're what make it exciting, don't they?
Yeah.
It's not just the big check moments, because weirdly, lots of them aren't wows. Do you know what I mean? You almost feel lucky.
Yeah.
with some of the big check moments. And even qualifying, you feel like some of them are gimmies.
Yeah.
When it's an easy peg and you're going to win.
Is there any that
the
you
one
like?
where you had the pond on your own at...
Yeah, a little bit.
What was it called?
Southampton.
Southampton.
Yeah.
But is there any that where you're like, I've literally fished the best match of my life and still not won?
But you don't remember it?
No.
Yeah.
Probably.
Other than
Not
that,
come second or
May the
third.
final with a perch.
Yeah, even Winnie's. When Winnie beat me on Mayville.
Yeah.
I did that flipping good.
Yeah, I was saying that earlier, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
chucking that method to an island. How far is that chucker?
50 metres.
50 metres, isn't it?
Like decent
55
chuck.
metres.
And there was like a random branch sticking out, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's like a stump.
And it was like
too.
that far away every single time. And everyone's just stood behind. Like,
Ringer-esque.
Yeah.
for someone who wasn't or isn't known as a feeder angler or anything like, I think at the time you only caught F1s. It was that era, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was that era, yeah. It was the F1 era.
Love that.
But it goes under the radar in my estimation because it didn't win. It's weird, and it has to have that moment of winning or for whatever reason, your first match, first club match, first whatever. They're the ones that you remember, innit?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It's a shame, but it's probably because we go fishing that much, you can't remember them all. It's impossible, isn't it? With the part we go to remember, oh yeah, this was good. Do you know what I mean? I draw pegs that I've been on 50 times and I can't remember a match that I've been on it.
It's familiar. Deja vu moment.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I've been to venues and fished half a match and then realised, oh, I've been here before.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I like that. That's a nice one, that was.
Yeah. But with that, it is now time for a beer.
Oh, yes.